So we have another Bicep template here. Same thing, we are again changing that target scope to make sure that we're deploying into multiple resource groups. And one of the other parameters here is the number of environments, which is currently set to 3. So in this case, we're going to deploy 3 different environments, again, AVD environments for the easy use case, to deploy them into different resource groups as well. So the way that I would do that is by using the AZ stack subcreate command that you see here, which allows me to do a couple of things. It allows me to pass a name for this deployment stack, because the deployment stack is just any other Azure resource as well. It allows me to define the location where to deploy the main template that you just saw with all of the resources in it, as well as 2 things. And this is the things that I mentioned before. So there's a deny, write, and delete option here, which means that no one is able to delete individual resources of this entire deployment stack. And we'll see what the outcome is if you actually try to do that. And there's a detach all option for the action on unmanaged. So in case you ever decide to remove a resource from that logical group, from that deployment stack, the default action is to detach it and not remove it. If I would have selected remove all here, it will actually destroy that resource if I decide to remove it from that logical group. So once I do this, let me show you the end result in Azure, because I have already done that before. Let me actually go to subscription level, because this is one level higher of deployment stack. And here is my AVD stack demo. And as you can see, this contains the 9 resources we talked about before. So 3 environments, all consisting of an app group, host pool, and workspace, across different resource groups, as you can see here as well. So the first thing I want to show you is actually deleting this entire stack. I won't do it because I will ruin the rest of the demo. But if I wanted to, I could select the option here, which is called delete resources, resource groups, and management groups. So even if I would go one level higher and go to multiple subscriptions, with a single action, I can revert all those actions and delete everything from here. I can actually click next safely here, because it will show me a warning of all of the resources that will be removed as part of this action. But what I want to focus on is that deny, write, and delete option that is right here. So as part of the deny settings, we have made sure to set it to deny, write, and delete, which basically means that no one is able to remove resources outside of this stack. Let me show you what that means. If I go to one of the resources individually, resource individually right here, let's open up this application group here, which is just any other Azure Virtual Desktop app group. And I'm an owner of the subscription, and I'm an owner of the resource. So technically, from an Azure perspective, I will be able to remove it. But if I click delete here, this is what it comes back with. So it says that, yes, I do have the permissions to do it. However, there is an access denied because of a deployment stack that is active on this resource. So even me as an owner, I cannot remove this resource accidentally, individually anymore. So the question then is how to remove a resource. That is obviously going back to the same Bicep template. So if I would go back to the Bicep template where this is all defined, I would simply remove the resource from here, and it will then remove the resource and detach it from the deployment stack. So let's actually go ahead and do that live to see what happens. The most easy way to do that is change this to 2, which means that we're going to remove 3 of the 9 resources, which leaves 6 in total. We're going to save this, and we're going to rerun the same commandlet again to deploy this deployment stack, and it will probably ask me for a confirm. There we go. So what it will now do is take a look at the Bicep template as part of that stack, take a look at all of the resources that are defined in it, and take a look at what is configured in Azure. If I've removed resources from the template, it will remove them from Azure or detach them, as we talked about. If I add resources, it will be added. If I modify resources, it will be modified as well. So it's now running, and it takes 1 or 2 minutes to complete, but let's take a look at the Azure portal to see if we can already see some result here. If I refresh it, the status is now deploying, so it's now redefining all of the entries within that deployment stack. And what we'll see in a second is that now 6 resources are managed by this stack and 3 are actually detached as we requested. That's at least the outcome we are hoping to see. There we go. So now we already see those 6 resources. So 1 deployment, 1 app group, 1 host pool, 1 workspace has been removed from this entirely. And if we wait for this to actually complete, we will probably also see that they are actually referred to as detached resources. It's a live demo, you can tell. There we go. So we now have 3 detached resources as well because we decided to not remove them, but actually just remove them from the stack. So they still live in Azure, but they are no longer managed as part of this stack. So that's a great way to start managing your code using the concept of deployment stacks. And it's the recommended way going forward for any deployment, even if you're using a technology maybe you're familiar with, is called Azure Blueprints, which is being deprecated. So general advice is to move towards this deployment stack technology.